The 2024 Clash at the Coliseum honestly kind of surprised me this year. It wasn't garbage like it was the past 2 years. It actually had meh racing. This race just felt different, and obviously it was going to. They had to hold the race a day early because it was just going to rain for like 5 days straight, and of course it's going to rain when NASCAR comes to town. But, I mean, it just felt different because it didn't feel like it was being shoved down your throat. There was no Machine Gun Kelly. There was no, trying to make NASCAR popular with, like, the younger generation. It was literally just, hey, let's put the cars on the track and let's have them race. Because the last couple of times that they went to LA, they've had, Ice Cube, Dixie D'Amelio, and this year they were going to have Machine Gun Kelly, and that just leaves the NASCAR fans like this. The main frontrunners of this race was Ty Gibbs, Denny Hamlin, and Joey Logano. Joey Logano and Ty Gibbs have a beef. I feel like the most two unlikable people in NASCAR are arguing and having beef with each other, which is kind of ironic. Joey was mad at Gibbs for using him up going into a corner, but I mean, everybody is beating and banging on this track. I mean, you just can't be nice to somebody on a paperclip, even smaller than a paperclip. This is like a dust particle compared to a paperclip. I find it funny because this is not the first time Joey Logano has had a similar conversation to the one he's having with Ty Gibbs. Let's go back 12 years ago.
It's either that or I'm going to spin out. I spun out anyway. I hit the wall, dude.
Don't do me.
You race everyone so hard. I'm not the only one. You run it.
Be a little punk and actually get paid a little less money if you want to race.
Ironically, the number one of Ross Chastain was struggling real hard in the Busch Clash, and I don't really think any of them were his fault. Just going back to that statement I said earlier, everybody was beating and banging. This clip, he accidentally brushed the wall and got slung into Michael McDowell. Not his fault. But this incident with Tyler Reddick after the checkered flag wave, it was his fault. Coming to the checkered flag right here, Reddick is on the bottom, Chastain's on the top. You can see Reddick getting to the back of Chastain, didn't check up. Chastain was like, all right, I'm not playing with that. Going into one, he kind of just pushes him into the wall and says, bro, what? And that was really it. I mean, it really doesn't matter because it's an exhibition race, but, it's still... Chastain, but I love Chastain, so I'm not going to talk crap about it. It sucks that I had to get that clip from Instagram because Fox did a horrible job at showing the action. They literally just showed the front of the field, and the front of the field is so boring because once somebody gets the lead, the second place car is not chasing them down. Literally, Ricky Stenhouse Jr. got out of his car in that little halftime spot where the show of Machine Gun Kelly was supposed to be. He literally got out of his car, went up to John Hunter Nemechek's car, ripped his window net down, and Fox didn't say anything about it. Didn't even show it on TV. This is why everybody hates Fox. They don't show the action. They show the first two cars. The finish of the race was kind of confusing. After that restart where Ty Gibbs, apparently used up Joey Logano, Denny Hamlin sailed off into the lead. And with one lap to go, Ty Gibbs spun around, and then they waved the caution flag. I thought the race was over, but no. They have special rules for LA. Even if it's the last lap and there's a caution, it doesn't end the race. They redo it in an overtime. And I was like, okay, that's stupid. They re-rack them, and then, Denny Hamlin is just fighting for his life on these restarts. He can't turn this car for nothing. Wheel lockups left and right. Actually, no, just left. But, 2 overtime laps, and Denny Hamlin wins. That was the finish. That's about it. This race was much better than previous years, but I hope to God that there's never another Clash at the Coliseum ever again. 3 people really stood out to me in this race, and that was Ty Gibbs for, leading all those laps, being arguably the fastest car there. Ryan Blaney, who didn't even make it in on speed. He had to take a provisional, and he started last, and then he finished, third? That's pretty good. And Kyle Busch, every single Clash, he has finished on the podium. I think it was second, third, and then second last night. That is pretty good. I'm not the biggest fan of this racetrack, but I am a big fan of the idea. And it was a nice concept in the beginning, but it's played out. But I can say last night that this little rinky-dink of a makeshift track gave us the best next-gen short track race as of today. I appreciate you, LA Coliseum. Please don't ever hold another NASCAR race again.